What's happening, y'all? It's your boy RottenRoseQ back with another reaction video. And this time we are tapping into a YouTube video that is titled The Encyclopedia of Useful Facts of JK. So let's go ahead and check it out. If any of these things resonate with you, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, if there's anything that's being missed out, please let me know. I'm watching this for educational purposes, so you guys can also educate me in the comments as well. Let's get into it.
I want to be a J. When I see is, they look kind of cool. When I see Army. When Army sings, I love Army. Oh, there's something else I've really gotten into lately. I'll name it that.
I really want to try hat fake.
Color is purple, too. Let's begin. The useful nationwide dictionary of Javak. Let's go. Information. Name John Jungkook. I can't write well, but date born September 1st. Affiliate 1997. Affiliation. B. Debut June 2013. Jungkook.
He debuted 2013. We are in the year 2026. Yeah, he's a vet. He's a vet. All 7 of them are vets that you gotta have respect on. You need to know who they are. You're sleeping under a rock if you don't. But let's keep going.
Song. I think this was the most famous one. MBTI. I tend to think very realistically, and I think F and T are about 50-50. There are quite a few times when I can't relate to. Next, when I see J's, they look kind of cool. I think they are cool because of the way they control themselves while planning. What I'm into lately, motorcycles. I've completely fallen for motorcycles right now. Now that I'm starting to.
I mean, motorcycles are a thing though, right? I think especially in every man's life, especially like when we men that care about an image, I think that they're gonna go through a motorcycle phase. I haven't been through my motorcycle phase yet solely because um yeah, I can't tell you the because, but yeah, I think that that's a nice phase to be in. Got me thinking now. I'm this might begin my motorcycle phase, but let's keep going.
Get interested in bikes that are a bit different from the ones I used to own. If I were to describe myself in one word, if it were in instead of ISP, I would have been able to talk about this better. Resolution. I always like to challenge myself with something new, but if I don't think it's right, I give up on it quickly.
That's a gem for you guys to walk away with. Always be willing to try something new. As long as we're breathing in life, we can always become something that will serve the rest of our lives. Always be willing to try something new. And also, always be willing to pivot or stop if it's not serving you and try something else. That was a great gem. Let's keep rocking.
If I had to pick one song that is most BTS-like and one that is most nationwide, I think 24 would be the most BTS song right now. It's a new song, and I think it's a track where you can feel a new side of BTS. As for nationwide, I think it would still be 7. I chose 7 because Jin had gone into military service and we were resting for too long, but after meeting that song, we were able to promote with passion. Yafam. Is there a moment when
I love both records, so those are good answers.
you yourself admit that you are indeed the golden maknae? Well, regarding things like photo shoots or promotional videos, I actually feel quite embarrassed about them, so I don't really know about those moments. But when I'm concentrating on performing on stage and feel like I did really well, like when we reunited as a complete group and prepared for our Bong, that's when it comes to that. Regarding the part you prepared the hardest for and what you consider important about Money. First of all is the quality of the song. When recording, I pay a lot of attention to vocalization and pronunciation in a way that also...
I can see that, even by the way that he performs on stage versus to how he creates his own music. I know that he's not the type of artist that's just gonna settle with something that doesn't really sit right with his soul because he knows that people are gonna hear it and that he will be performing it every day. That's what I believe is going on with him. But I could be wrong, right? But that's just my thoughts on what JK is saying.
Counts as quality as for this album. Since it's a group performance this time, there are parts where other members filled in for me. So about 60% of the time is there a moment during the live stage that feels more overwhelming than Yisung. When I see Army or when Army sings, I feel good and often get teary-eyed.
I mean, how can he not? I could imagine what a stadium is like when it comes because I think people are always gonna rap to the lyrics as well for the rap verses, but for the part of the songs where it's time for the chorus or it's time for the melody, can you imagine what it feels like when everybody in the stadium knows your words and is a fan of it and had all had personal moments themselves to the music that they could think about that they could think back to while they're at the concert listening to it while you're performing it. I could imagine that would make anybody feel heavy hearted that you're in a stadium of people that know your words and love it and is loving your performance as well. So yeah, Army keeps them alive, man. Army is 50% responsible for all of the success of BTS. You know what? I'm not good at percentages, but I must say, without the help of Army, without the help of the Rotten Rose family, this wouldn't have got where it's going and also where we're heading as well. So, yeah, I want to go ahead and thank you guys as well because you guys are 50% of what it takes for me to keep going as well. It's just so dope that they give you an opportunity to remember that nothing is done alone. It matters. Um, let's keep going.
What is your method for regaining your focus when your heart wavers? I try not to obsess over why my heart is wavering, so I look at something else. Or lately, I think I tend to talk a lot to the people around me or the members. Isame. I wasn't very good at that in the past, but anyway. If it's Army, I'll go with Jimin. I'm curious about your thoughts on the
That's a real good answer. Staying in your head is not a beautiful thing. I've spent way too long in my head. So I'm saying this as a person that stays in their head. Staying in your head is not a beautiful thing, especially when you have something that the world needs to see and that the world needs to know about. Being in your head is the worst place to be. You need to understand that you need to be you. You need to be the best version of you, I should say. You need to be the you that isn't worried about the negative and just living your life based on what it is that you want to give the world. It matters a lot. So I like that he doesn't spend a lot of time dwelling on what doesn't work. He just taps in with the guys and think about other things. Challenges are gonna always be there in life. The moment we learn to not let challenges stress us, I think life gets better. Let's keep going.
Beast comeback airing performance held right in front of the fans. I heard they closed the lights and did a near-death experience the day before. Is there any behind-the-scenes story related to that? All that comes to mind is that it was just cold. The stage floor was a bit uneven, so honestly, I was a bit hectic preparing for the tour at the same time. I did have the mindset that I had to make the performance perfect, but when it ended, I think I felt a sense of being really squandered. It was so great to see Armies again after a long time. I love you, Armies. If there is a behind-the-scenes story or mistake that people don't know about, please share just one. Well, there are a lot of mistakes that aren't really mistakes. By my standards, a mistake is things like gestures that were put together or those trivial things. It's not just about things that don't have meaning or anything like that. I consider it a mistake even if we can't show everything we prepared. So there are a lot of mistakes. I do tend to talk about mistakes well, though. I apologize. And for things I've done recently, I mentioned that I couldn't show the stage perfectly. As for unique food recipes,
That was a beautiful answer. Um, how we view mistakes matter. Perspective matters so much in this world. And from what JK is explaining, no mistakes are that important. No, like even I make mistakes, and I know how to address saying sorry when I make a mistake. that shows his character a lot. So many people don't feel comfortable apologizing if their feelings are involved, even if they're wrong. And that goes to show that you're kind of not in the best space, because if you're wrong, apologize. If you make a mistake, it's okay to apologize and move on, because that apology is not, it doesn't make you or break you. It's just an acknowledgement of the moment and moving forward. And I've seen him do that before. I've seen them do it before, where they would address the army at times that things might not go the way that they wanted to go, and the army was always accepting of them in open arms. So yeah, I love how he views mistakes. I think that's how they all view mistakes, in my opinion.
From across the country that I would recommend to armies. There is something I've been really into lately. I'll call it garlic tomato carbonara. I actually looked it up and found it exists on YouTube. There are hardly any in Korea, but it's really delicious. I make it often. First of all, I make sure everything is prepared. Mince the
I gotta try
garlic.
it.
Chop the fresh parsley and set out the basil as well. As for the personal record papers, there is something that even I find fascinating. It is always fascinating. Also, wasn't performing at Gwangshangnam such a huge hit. And since I like Netflix, I am also very happy about working with them.
They didn't just work with Netflix. It's like they took over Netflix for that time, because they were number one in so many countries once their BTS Netflix special was aired. And I've never seen that done before, and I'm not expecting to see that done ever again. So these are some feats, y'all.
Very much so. And recently, I worked on a field board even at night regarding purchasing power. When looking back on me. Jungkook is 30 years old in Korean age this year. What kind of time was your 20s for Jungkook? And what do you think Jungkook will be like in your 30s now? I don't think it'll be much different. It's just that the first digit has changed. Since my main job is being a singer, I've always considered growth and improvement important, so. You are consistently showing charismatic performances. If there's a style you want to show next, I would like to try doing a delivery job sometime. But to avoid being cheesy, if you had a time machine. Which moment would you want to go to? The past or the future? The past, definitely. Or would you lose your memory? No, I'm just going with my body as it is. I plan to stop practicing from when I'm youngest, around 6 years old. Years. Since I know how to manage my body from then on, I can manage everything from muscles to height and the food I eat. For the purpose of maintenance, I want to appear as young as possible.
I think that's so funny for him to answer it that way, because I know that he's a workhorse. He's basically saying that if he had the opportunity to go back when he was around 6 years old, he would work harder and basically prepare himself to be more, to be even more smart or more capable of doing even more, which is so funny because it's like he's already made a successful life, but to know that he will want to go back to even fix certain things, it just goes to show what kind of person he is again. So that's dope.
It's a killing part that I think I absolutely nailed. This is pa. I'm not talking about the old burning part of paya, but the new song paya. There is a phrase that starts with the lyrics, Kim Midi, Gasman. I think I recorded the big part really well. When I look back on my day, my personal standard for feeling like I did well is when I lived healthily and worked hard. If I do nothing and just fall asleep exhausted, I can't help but feel that way. And this kind of.
Yeah, man, it's a thing. People like him will never feel comfortable being lazy. People like me never feel comfortable being lazy. I love working. I love just knowing that I'm doing something that's positive, not just for me, but for my family, for everyone around me that I love, for the world, for people that I might never get a chance to meet. There's so many people that inspired me that I never got a chance to meet. So if I'm able to inspire somebody and never meet them, that's a blessing. So yeah, hard work is a beautiful day for me. I kind of feel weird when I didn't do anything. I feel like, man, what am I doing with myself? So really good point that he made.
YouTube content is really difficult. I am sure you all like this side of me in mid, but please support me because I am someone who tries really hard. As for the cover, I believe it turned out well, not because I look cool, but because the people who filmed it are such wonderful individuals. I will return home happily today. I hope you enjoy the June cover featuring Guacwa. We've got Bulo. And please support it. And please give lots of love to BTS, Jungkook, and BTS. Thank you.
Man, JK is that guy, and he's so humble, man. It's just so crazy. What it gives me the understanding of is no matter where we are in life, always find a reason to stay down, stay down to earth. Don't try to get in the sky. I love the way that these guys are successful, but yet they're still dope individuals that are very modest. And it seems like JK is not too comfortable. And that's kind of funny even saying that about him, right? But like being on the internet or being in front of the camera, I guess entertaining, if that makes sense. Because I know he does it, but I think he does it in the way that he wants to, you know? So I love that he was able to do this interview. I love that he has a relationship with Hublot as well. I think that's really dope. Um, yeah, salute to everything that he has going on right now. Let me know if you guys heard anything that was off or anything that needs to be elaborated on. But I appreciate y'all. Shagat Ryan Rose Q. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one.